The Lost Tribes of Israel. A tale misunderstood. The story of the Israelites is one of both triumph and tragedy. It is a story often told from a single perspective, which frequently ignores the voices of those marginalized and forgotten. The 12 tribes of Israel, bound by a shared heritage, faced internal strife and external threats. Their journey, as told in the Bible, speaks of conquests and exiles, yet the fate of all 12 tribes remains a point of contention. 10 of these tribes, lost to the annals of history, are often referred to as the Lost Tribes of Israel. Their disappearance has fueled centuries of speculation. Some cling to the belief that these tribes assimilated into other cultures, their lineage obscured. Others posit a more dramatic fate, imagining these tribes embarking on epic journeys to distant lands. Among these lost tribes, the fate of Zebulun remains shrouded in mystery. The Bible offers glimpses into their early history. Zebulun, son of Jacob, lends his name to this tribe. They are depicted as a people of the sea, their territory nestled along the fertile coastal plains. Ancient scriptures, such as the Book of Genesis, describe Zebulun as a haven for ships. They were known for their maritime skill, venturing out into the Mediterranean. Yet, despite these glimpses into their past, the ultimate fate of Zebulun, like that of the other lost tribes, remains an enigma. Their story, often relegated to the footnotes of history, deserves a closer look. To understand their disappearance, we must delve into the narratives that have shaped our understanding of their fate. It is crucial to approach this exploration with a critical lens. History, as we know it, is often written by the victors. The story of the lost tribes is no different. It is a narrative that has been shaped and molded by those in power. European colonizers, driven by their own agendas, played a significant role in shaping the Western world's understanding of these tribes. Their interpretations, often biased and self-serving, have colored our perception of these lost groups for centuries. By unraveling these layers of interpretation, we can begin to piece together a more accurate, albeit still incomplete, picture of the fate of Zebulun. This journey takes us beyond the confines of traditional historical accounts. It compels us to explore alternative narratives and challenge long-held assumptions. Zebulun's story, like that of many ancient civilizations, is a tapestry woven from threads of truth and speculation. The tribe's origins can be traced back to the biblical patriarch Jacob. Zebulun, the sixth son of Jacob and Leah, gave his name to this group. Their early history is intertwined with the broader narrative of the Israelites. They endured slavery in Egypt. They escaped with Moses. They eventually found themselves in the Promised Land. The territory allotted to Zebulun, according to biblical accounts, was situated in the fertile region of Galilee. This region, bordering the Mediterranean Sea, played a pivotal role in shaping the tribe's identity. Zebulun became known for its maritime prowess. The tribe's connection to the sea is a recurring theme in ancient texts. The book of Deuteronomy describes Zebulun as rejoicing in your going out. This phrase, open to interpretation, alludes to the tribe's seafaring capabilities. They were traders, adventurers, and explorers. Their ships sailed the Mediterranean. They likely established trade routes with neighboring civilizations. This maritime activity brought them into contact with diverse cultures. It exposed them to new ideas and technologies. The sea, a source of both sustenance and opportunity, became central to Zebulun's identity. This maritime heritage, however, also made them vulnerable. As Zebulun grew in prosperity, they attracted the attention of powerful empires. The Assyrians, known for their military might, swept through the region. They conquered the northern kingdom of Israel. This conquest, a pivotal moment in Israelite history, marked the beginning of Zebulun's disappearance from traditional historical narratives. The Assyrian conquest of 722 BCE led to the scattering of the 10 northern tribes, including Zebulun. Their fate, shrouded in uncertainty, has been the subject of much debate and speculation. The story of the lost tribes, particularly as it was told in the West, cannot be separated from the rise of European colonialism. As European powers embarked on voyages of exploration and conquest, they carried with them their own religious and cultural biases. The Bible, a central text in their worldview, was often used to justify their actions and legitimize their claims to power. The lost tribes narrative, ripe with mystery and intrigue, became a tool in the hands of colonizers. They used it to fit their own agendas in the newly discovered lands of the Americas. One of the most common tactics employed by European colonizers was the practice of reinterpreting indigenous histories through a biblical lens. When faced with unfamiliar cultures and civilizations in the Americas, they sought to fit these groups into their existing understanding of the world. The Lost Tribes narrative provided a convenient framework. Indigenous populations, often with little power to challenge these interpretations, were cast as descendants of the Lost Tribes of Israel. This interpretation served several purposes for the colonizers. It allowed them to claim a sort of biblical right to the land. By portraying indigenous populations as descendants of the Israelites, they could argue that they were simply reclaiming what was rightfully theirs. This interpretation also served to justify the often brutal treatment of indigenous populations. By casting them as descendants of the Lost Tribes, European colonizers could draw upon existing biblical narratives of disobedience and punishment. The indigenous populations, in their eyes, had strayed from the path of righteousness. They needed to be guided, by force if necessary, back to the true faith. This manipulation of history had devastating consequences for indigenous communities. It stripped them of their own unique identities. It subjected them to forced conversions and cultural erasure. The Lost Tribes narrative, twisted to fit colonial agendas, became a tool of oppression. Section 4. Mayan echoes of Zebulun cultural footprints in Central America. While the European manipulation of the Lost Tribes narrative is undeniable, it is crucial to approach the connections between ancient Israel and pre-Columbian America with nuance. Disregarding the possibility of transoceanic contact in the ancient world solely based on colonial interpretations would be a disservice to the complexities of history. Emerging evidence suggests the possibility of cultural exchange between the Old World and the New World long before Columbus. The presence of certain customs and practices among indigenous populations in Central America, particularly the Maya, hints at a possible connection to the tribe of Zebulun. The Maya civilization, known for its advanced knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and writing, flourished in Central America centuries before European contact. Intriguingly, certain aspects of Mayan culture bear a striking resemblance to customs and beliefs attributed to the tribe of Zebulun in ancient Israelite texts. One such similarity lies in their reverence for the sea. Just as Zebulun was recognized for its maritime prowess, the Maya held a deep respect for the ocean. Coastal Maya communities were skilled navigators and fishermen. They relied on the sea for sustenance and trade. Their intricate knowledge of ocean currents and celestial navigation allowed them to traverse vast distances along the coastline. Beyond their shared affinity for the sea, both Zebulun and the Maya placed significant emphasis on astronomy and astrology. The tribe of Zebulun, according to some interpretations of biblical texts, possessed knowledge of the stars and their movements. This knowledge may have aided their seafaring endeavors. Similarly, the Maya were renowned astronomers. Their sophisticated calendar systems, based on meticulous observations of celestial bodies, played a central role in their religious practices and daily lives. The alignment of certain Mayan temples with specific constellations suggests a level of astronomical knowledge that mirrored, if not surpassed, that of many Old World civilizations. Section 5. Architectural allusions, temples, and the Zebulun connection. The architectural marvels left behind by ancient civilizations often serve as tangible links to their beliefs, practices, and potential connections to other cultures. The remnants of Mayan cities, scattered across the jungles of Central America, offer intriguing clues that hint at a possible connection to the Lost Tribes, particularly Zebulun and Issachar. These connections are most evident in the architectural design and religious significance of Mayan temples. These towering structures, often built atop pyramids and adorned with intricate carvings, served as centers of worship, sacrifice, and astronomical observation. One striking parallel between Mayan temples and ancient Israelite practices lies in the concept of a high place. In ancient Israel, high places were designated areas of worship, often located on hills or elevated platforms. These sites held religious significance. They served as focal points for sacrifices and offerings. Similarly, Mayan temples, perched atop towering pyramids, mirrored this concept of elevated worship. The Maya, like the Israelites, believed that ascending to a higher elevation brought them closer to the divine. This shared emphasis on elevated worship spaces suggests a possible cultural link. Further strengthening this connection is the layout and design of certain Mayan temple complexes. The ancient Israelites, as described in biblical accounts, constructed their temples, such as the first and second temples in Jerusalem, with specific orientations and enclosures. These structures often featured courtyards, altars, and a Holy of Holies, a sacred inner sanctum where the presence of God was believed to dwell. Remarkably, some Mayan temple complexes exhibit similar architectural features. Courtyards, often aligned with astronomical events, provided space for gatherings and processions. Elevated platforms served as stages for rituals and sacrifices. The presence of inner chambers, restricted to priests and rulers, suggests a hierarchical structure within Mayan religion, mirroring the priestly classes in ancient Israel. Section 6. Reclaiming the narrative. A call for historical accuracy. The journey to uncover the truth about the lost tribes, particularly Zebulun's presence in Central America, is an ongoing process. It is a journey that requires us to challenge established narratives, question assumptions, and embrace the complexities of history. While the European colonial legacy has undoubtedly skewed our understanding of these connections, dismissing any possibility of transoceanic contact in the ancient world solely based on past biases would be a mistake. The cultural echoes, architectural similarities, and emerging evidence of pre-Columbian transoceanic voyages warrant further investigation. Reclaiming the narrative of the lost tribes is not simply an academic exercise, it is an act of historical justice. It is an acknowledgement of the rich and diverse histories of indigenous populations who have long been marginalized and misrepresented. By approaching this subject with sensitivity, respect, and a commitment to uncovering the truth, we can begin to piece together a more accurate and inclusive understanding of the past. This understanding has the power to challenge deeply ingrained prejudices. It can foster greater appreciation for the interconnectedness of human civilizations. The search for Zebulun in Central America is a testament to the enduring power of history to captivate and challenge our understanding of the world. It reminds us that the past is not a static monolith. It is a living, breathing entity that continues to shape our present and future. By embracing the unknown, questioning assumptions, and seeking truth, we embark on a journey of discovery. This journey has the potential to rewrite history, not by erasing the past, but by illuminating the forgotten narratives that shape our collective memory.